Hi, this is Tamara Drake with UkiahValley.tv, bringing you the latest in news from Mendocino County. Tuesday, the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors received reports from a handful of county department heads who were over budget. First up was Carmel Angelo, Health and Human Services Agency Director, who said that due to a flood of unexpected vacancies, she was able to reduce the number of layoffs from 29 to 9.5 full-time equivalent positions.
It's one supervisor to 4.5 frontline staff in mental health. These positions are in the crisis unit. We should be in the black in social services. That should bring us to our bottom line.
Meredith Ford, Auditor-Controller, said her department had reduced their shortfall from $38,000 at the mid-year report to $9,400, but with a combination of mandatory and voluntary time off by her staff, was now at zero.
Quite frankly, I can't envision being able to provide the services that I'm required to provide if I have to do it with less staff.
Nash Gonzalez, Planning and Building Services Director, said he could either implement cost-cutting measures, combine that with a reduction of 5 positions, or do both and increase the number of total layoffs to 12.
Why we're facing a projected shortfall is primarily due to the loss of revenue, loss of anticipated revenue from the construction industry.
The board directed Gonzalez to pursue the first option and explore the consequences of following the second and report back to the board.
You know, we have some very important planning documents that we absolutely need to get finished.
Finley Williams, grand jury foreperson, said he had no new ideas for the board, that since all funds would run out by the end of the month, a judge was currently in the process of deciding if the department could still spend money.
We have no place to cut.
After the lunch break, Sheriff Tom Allman told the board he had cut his projected deficit by half, which still left the department around $1.1 million over budget.
We have tried to keep in check several of our costs, and so if you will allow me a little bit of time, we're going to go through what we're doing to cut our costs from the original budget and some of the emergency procedures that we've implemented to assist with the county budget, because we are all in this together. There's no question about it, and you're not going to see anything except a team player aspect from the sheriff's office.
Allman said that since he couldn't control the amount of crime or number of inmates he was required to jail, he was hamstringed in a way that other county departments weren't.
We can't MTO corrections deputies. The bottom line is we're trying to reduce costs. And I know that when you have the biggest budget out of general fund, maybe people are expecting the biggest cut and the biggest savings in the general fund. But there's public safety issues that we cannot reduce at all.
Supervisor Kendall Smith praised Allman for his willingness to cut costs, but then criticized his lack of a plan to close the deficit in the same breath.
You definitely are in the right line of work because you truly believe in public safety and you are masterful at a political opportunity to absolutely live what you believe. Budget balancing is yet another issue. We have not addressed the $1.1 million shortfall. That hasn't been addressed in your presentation.
Allman said that with the coming marijuana planting season, he was actively pursuing his dormant zip tie program.
So it'd be fair to say that we have the zip tie process on the fast track.
We do.
Okay.
We're zipping along.
Okay.
Smith said she still didn't see where the sheriff's department was making an effort to reduce the over $900,000 county general fund deficit.
To a certain degree, public safety has enjoyed that rather privileged position historically in terms of many cuts. Staffing levels have hit other departments more so than public safety. And I think that with the degree of diminishment of revenue that we have now, that can no longer be the case.
I'd like to see, somebody who does the run back or steps up and says, sorry, Tom, you've got to do what's got to be done. And whatever Tom we're talking about should be up to you and all of us.
Second District Supervisor John McCowan said that he didn't see where the sheriff's office could cut staff any further, as Allman was also asking for permission to hire a pair of deputies for Covelo and an additional animal control officer.
Personally, I think we need to look elsewhere for the budget savings.
The board finally agreed by consensus to freeze hiring in the sheriff's office through June 30th, utilize asset forfeiture for vehicle purchases and maintenance, and look into reducing personnel. And let's thank Sheriff Tom Allman for a little comedic relief during a tough budget session.
And my doctor says I'm allergic to prison. I don't want to go back or go. I've visited once.
You learn something every day.
Let me read.
On December 1st, 2008, Perpetual Energy Systems, a leading comprehensive financier of photovoltaic solar energy systems, announced the launch of its latest project, hosted at the City of Willett's water treatment plant. We spoke with Willett's City Manager Paul Kaler to get an update on this project.
It's a solar array that puts power directly onto the power grid, and then that power is then used to offset use the electric energy that's used at the water treatment facility. On the whole, anybody who's interested in the Willett's solar array project can go to the cityofwillets.com, go to our homepage and click down to the solar array project, and you can see what the performance of the solar array is at any given time, during the day, of course. And it also has calculations on how much carbon has been saved through the solar array project. It's a real cool project.
Willett City Manager Kaler is also very optimistic about the city's water supply.
You know, what a difference 3 weeks makes. The last 3 weeks we've seen a tremendous amount of rainfall, and that has filled the city's reservoir, both the Morris Reservoir and the Centennial Reservoir. We've gone from the middle of January, where we had about 850 acre-feet of water, to the reservoirs are near at their maximum capacity, a little bit over 1,300 acre-feet. This is great news. If moderate rainfall continues through the rest of the spring, I'm anticipating that we will be able to reduce all water restrictions within the city of Willets over the summer. This is tremendous.
The Ukiah Unified School District held a community forum on the state budget crisis and its impact on the Ukiah Unified School District.
I've been in education for almost 40 years, and I've not seen anything like this before.
How we can handle what I view as a criminal act by the legislature of the government.
The budget packet includes $11.6 billion in devastating cuts to K-12 schools. With this budget package, California students who already live in a state that ranks 47th in the nation in per pupil spending will be forced to endure an additional $2,000 in cuts per pupil. This is Tamara Drake for Uvtv. Check back often for more local news.